they did all the great work, so they deserve all the good credit.
Yes, we're very happy to gain some closure for the Torres family and some justice for George.
Strong closing arguments from the both of you today. What do you think, like she said, this case means for the family and getting justice for George Torres?
I think after 4.5 years and the numerous delays, I think they were finally just happy to see this case go to trial and be able to put this one in the books.
What do you think the appropriate sentence should be?
We'll reserve comment to the sentencing hearing.
Sarah Boone's relentless mission to maliciously bankrupt Brian and rob Littleman of any comfortable financial start as a young adult in college or whatever he liked to do, all for some wings, burgers, and jumping Java. We the people have been quite shocked at her delusion and demanding to financially bankrupt again her former husband at a time when he's left as a single parent with her son. Could Sarah had gotten her hands on some substances in prison or drinking too much of the prison wine? You decide, and I'll be right back. Anna, you make it out to be I was addicted to drinking and smoking. I never did either as much as everyone says I did. As my mom would say, if you hang with dogs, you're going to catch fleas. Just because George did every day doesn't mean I did. I hated drinking every day and smoking was expensive. It was a relief coming here as I wasn't forced and pressured into still doing as I was on the outs. I was glad! Exclamation. And no, I will not be when free. My body is a temple and living sacrifice for the Holy Spirit, period. So, I'm sorry it's not as groundbreaking as you assumed it was with me quitting, quote unquote, cold turkey, as said. I was glad.
To you, if anything, at that meeting?
What he and I did?
What was provided to you? What was given to you by Investigator Lane?
The digital evidence we went over. And we're still reviewing the discovery, but I don't recall anything physically being handed to. Not concluded going through that. We have other meetings tentatively scheduled, which we will be concluding that also in order to meet the deadline for the objections of the 23rd of August.
How many of those 9 items were you able to review with Mr. Lane on Saturday?
Not more than one.
Okay. Were you able to access all of the 9 items on that USB drive?
For the brief moment that he and I were able to attempt to do so, yes, they seemed to work.
Okay, you did not have any issues opening up any of those files?
I personally myself did not open all of them.
Okay, all right. Okay.
It's on our to-do list.
My understanding was it was general context. This is not a strategy of mine they are accusing me of. If the relationship sours, I'm on my own. What does that mean? I'm already on my own. I was forced to be, hook or by crook. What does that mean? Appellate court. So they appoint the public defenders? I don't have to beg and recruit? My plan is to avoid this altogether. Plea? How do I even go about discussing and with who if I choose to contemplate? So do I send a letter to the prosecutor? What am I supposed to do? And I understand the pleading out to avoid trial, but that shows guilt also. I am not. Stave off. What was put on that order to cover their ASS? To stop me from becoming free at some point? Is that what they're trying to do? So after all this is said and done, are you encouraging me to beg for the mercy to court for another attorney? Again, that's a big breadcrumbs showing I was and still am being done so wrong in so many ways by so many people. I hope the lawyer you knows and everyone else picks up on that too. I'm trying to play my cards right as swiftly and correctly as possible. Tick, 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 tick. The cruel and unusual punishment. This is not what the justice system is about or the Constitution. I'm trying.
I mean, I think she told me like one time, like back before we got divorced, that at, I don't know, this bar thing over there across the street, near the Walgreens, whatever it's called. Okay. I've never been there. But somebody gave her a little bit of cocaine, like 2 years ago or something like that. But I've never known her to do drugs.
They continue to come into the prison system and be allowed to continue to break the rules. They haven't learned anything. So yes, we do have a discipline process. Yes, we enforce the rules. Is it a hellhole? Is it the worst thing in the world? No, ma'am. It is not in any way.
But how did Sarah go from the patio to prison? The fun high school days, when she excelled and got good grades, were far removed. This time Sarah was in big trouble, and she wasn't heading to the principal's office.
Corrections, with credit time served, that Madam Clerk will provide to you momentarily.
When you get down there, you'll have 3 phones. You'll be able to call.
What, as soon as possible?
Yeah, once you get down there and get booked in, you'll be able to use a phone in the waiting area.
How long will that take? Because I need to talk to Brian.
Yeah, no, it depends how busy, how quickly they get you through. I would say within the hour. It's a free phone call in the lobby. It's a free phone call.
All I'm doing is bring you there, sign the paper, and you're going to do it.
She has no clue.
So can I ask you, or whoever it is, those holding cells, the holding cells, am I going to be put in one of those?
I don't know.
Last time I had a panic attack.
Okay.
Let them know that.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, you're familiar with the big bay. As long as you go in and you act civil to them, they'll set you in the big bay. And you'll be left there for a while.
Can you request that while I'm there?
No, that's not up to us. We don't work at the jail.
As long as like he's saying, if you don't act
If you go in and act like this, you'll go in and they'll put you in the big bay. If you go in there screaming and kicking and yelling and cursing at people, I don't know. I'm just letting you know that's what happens. That's how they weed people out. If you go in acting like this.
So I ask for the big bay?
No, they'll put you there as long as you're acting like this.
Yeah, because the last time I had a major panic attack on the little things.
Hey, change the coach. Go ahead, stand up.
I have not.
So what am I going to do with my purse? Oh, sorry.
Your purse is going to come, but cigarettes and stuff can't, so.
I put the lock up too, my bad.
Oh, no, it's all good. Mine are the opposite, so.
What made you all decide to do this?
Made us decide to do this? George is dead.
You guys, I knew this was going to happen.
You did? Okay.
So I came down here willingly.
Yes, absolutely. We were trying to figure out what's going on. We're still trying to figure out what's going on. Unintentionally. Intentional or not, George is dead. You act like when you say unintentionally, that absolves you from everything.
I need to get, I don't know if it's able to be or not.
I apologize.
I have things in my car that I need to.
Okay.
Put your...
Ask him please to stop doing what he's doing to me. That was trying to poke his hand to go back in, to please don't break through, please. So I hit his hand.
Did you hit the outside part of his hand?
Yes.
We've seen the photographs of his left hand. Did you cause the bruising there?
I'm guessing yes.
Now, you've seen the bat. It's a youth bat?
Yes, I bought it for my son.
To know what we're here, what we're investigating, and that they're going to think I killed him.
Why would they think that?
They always have said that. They've always have said that.
Finding George Torres in the suitcase. You called 911?
Yes.
Is it true that Detective or Deputy Kayla Rodriguez of the Sheriff's Department arrived?
Yes.
mental state did you have at that time?
I was very confused. It was very hazy. I didn't understand the monumental amount of people that were there and what they were doing with taking things from my home. I was worried about my dogs. I was worried about my son. I was in shock. I was traumatized by the situation, and then trying to focus on everything that was going on at my home. I was hungover. I was still, I believe, intoxicated to a degree.
Objection, Judge. Move to strike. This is outside their motion to suppress. They have not made any allegations that her statement was involuntary because of her mental state or state of intoxication.
Response?
Judge, we're talking about, I'm just getting some preliminary information.
But
Her interrogation is the next day.
The state has an obligation, and the case law cited by the state requires specificity in the motions. So it's not a game of 20 questions and a surprise.
Okay, this is the day before the interrogation.
I understand that.
We're not talking about an intoxication.
But are you going to be arguing anything in conclusion as to what happened on February 24th led to any coercive or coercion behavior on behalf of the Orange County Sheriff's Office on February 25? Are you going to bootstrap or link any of those things together?
The interrogation in the squad car and what was said to her prior to getting in the squad car that relates to what she said about it being routine protocol, yes.
All right, I'm going to sustain the state's objection.
Relating to the intoxication?
Yes. Okay. It wasn't raised in any of the three motions that have been filed.
Judge, I didn't ask her that. She volunteered that.
I understand it.
Okay.
Objection sustained and it's stricken.
All right. Did you speak to the deputy about what had happened? Okay.
The respondent and mother, me, is avidly striving to and will continue her pursuit to be even more meaningful to her son in her continued hard-fought efforts to see him in person while temporarily housed at the DOC in the meantime of my appeal, release, and all other positive aspects I and he have on the horizon. Meaningful does not mean money, which the petitioner has an abundance of and is confessing otherwise after the respondent, me, was married to him and his family for 13 years and have known for over 3 decades. Gross and net income, petitioner is claiming unemployment for the past 3 years and refuses to submit requested statements, which include credit cards, tax returns, bank account, etc., for further review by me and the court to justify his spending habits with no supposed income while supporting a child. On multiple occasions when I would attempt to contact former husband, he would answer by stating, quote, "I'm working and I don't have time for you. Stop calling me while I'm working. I have a real job." Respondent, me, is incarcerated and the position that I hold does not pay money. Child support, $100 per month, was ordered to be paid to me. Payments by former husband have been reserved by the appropriate agency where he can utilize towards the minor child since I became incarcerated, in which I request to be included in the disbursement of and for when it comes the time. Former husband's pattern of parental alienation and defamation, actively attempting to sever the bond between respondent, me, and minor child is undeniable and intentional. Petitioner, former husband, continues to violate the active agreements, including before any expiration they are calculating. This expiration is also based on completion, alimony, which has not been upon the petitioner's willful violations and ignoring the court's authority in orders to pay, continue to pay, and abide by the parenting plan to encourage, not discourage, the respondent's adamant intentions to remain in her son's life. Sarah's presenting as if she didn't alienate herself by committing a horrible crime, and now she can be a perfect parent from close confinement, all while actively trying to rob her minor child of a financial future. And if she's calculating $62,000 for little man, it's about $6,200, and she still wants control of that. Someone in the comment section mentioned about Mama Torres and her statement to Sarah about not going to ever be able to be in her child's life, and that could possibly be why Sarah is going so hard to be included in her son's life, to kind of prove Mrs. Torres and the Torres family wrong. What do you think?
Dee, his ex-wife, when I say a monster, she's a monster. She withholds their children from speaking to him. So he gets upset about that, and then she completely berates him about money, about the father that he is, what he did to her, all this other stuff. It doesn't matter. I mean, mind you, this is not been recent, but which is why he didn't even bother calling anymore, because he knows that she's going to answer and he's going to have to talk to her, so therefore he can't talk to his daughter. The other time he talked to her, made her talk to Cookie. That's on my cell phone too, so you can see it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Her youngest daughter, Destiny. First of all, my heart goes out to all of you, and for all of us here at Court TV, we are so sorry for your loss.
What does she have to do, though, with anything about what happened Sunday and into Monday?
No, I'm just saying, previously, why the incidents would happen is she plays a big part in it.
Okay.
On top of job and money and groceries and all that.
Okay.
Sunday, when I tell you this, I have no idea. I have no idea.
Is there anybody else at the house?
Nope, it's just me and him. His ex-wife is bonkers. She was all over him all the time. Send me money, send me money, send me money. How can I send you money when I don't have a job? And he's still trying to take care of me and Lucas by paying a bill here or there, getting some groceries. So he always had something on his mind, which is why, again, I got the puzzles and the paint to try to get him off of it so we don't have a drink, or he doesn't have a drink. So when you all see my phone, you can see all of the damage he has done to me and the videos of him smashing my television because he's belligerently drunk. Where most of the time, I just don't want to be there. And I try to help him. I try to calm him down. Eventually, he just passes out.
Real shit. You're going to help me take it out. You're going to help me take this shit out. As bad as I want to.
Well, yesterday it made it sound like you guys were just drinking a glass or two. You obviously had the bottle, but you told me on recording that you were not drunk, he was not drunk, you guys were having a good time.
I can't get drunk. Number one, I do not want to get drunk. I don't like being non-compos mentis, having my wits about myself. I don't like feeling out of control. So
I'm just saying, you're making it sound like he's a raging alcoholic today, and yesterday I was kind of asking you those questions, and you're a little defensive, no, we're not alcoholics.
I'm not.
We are not, but you guys were both sober on Sunday, to your knowledge, because when I said you went and passed out, you were like, no, I didn't pass out, I just fell asleep. So now it's kind of like, what is it? Were you guys drinking and it got out of hand and it got physical?
No.
Or is it...
Sunday was one of the better days that we have had in quite some time. He's dancing with my dog. You can see that too on the pictures, him loving the dog. He loves the dog and dancing around, having a good time, and just being happy kind of thing. He doesn't know, I can get like maybe 2-3 glasses of wine and I'll be fine. But I have to have my wits about myself because I don't know what to expect.
Sarah claims to be compos mentis and totally sober while she's making these demands, but she seems more delusional than before. Prison visits aren't typically fun. There's lots of long lines, you have to get searched, and your property is held with someone you don't even know, maybe like a locker or something. But I can't imagine that being fun for a little boy, and what a interruption to their life and schedule would that be to have weekly visits at a prison facility. Not to mention the psychological effects that it could have. According to Sarah, her son is excited and anxious and can't wait to come to the prison. He's actually looking forward to it. Sidebar, I was thinking, Lana probably has so much information in her cell phone regarding Sarah that her family could probably write a book. They could write the book about Sarah and all of her adventures. There has to be a lot of secrets between those two. Just a random thought.
Many articles and videos and opinions of Sarah have gone out in the airways and on the webs. Opinions that have been formed and commented on so much that it's hard not to give into the temptation to treat people like a comic book or a fictional character. In the case of my friend Sarah, the words narcissist, Karen, villain, many other things, they roll off the tongue with little regard to the humanity that is dismissed so flippantly. And under a lot of circumstances, I was one of those people, as I have a love of true crime. And becoming friends with Sarah has shown me that there's a lot more depth to the people I see on the screen. No. I'd like to share with the world and with the court about the Sarah Boone that I know. Sarah Boone is a kind, honest, and good person. The Sarah Boone I know is one who loves animals, especially the kind who are damaged and defenseless. How many of us would take in and pour love for a hearing impaired and a sight impaired pair of dogs?
I'm going to go to court and I'm going to tell the judge, listen, my fiance has nothing to do with it. It's all my fault. We were both drinking and got out of hand. It's an isolated situation. It has never happened before. I love my fiance.
Team with it?
Yes, I kind of pushed, like I held it with the skinny part here and then...
So the grip here.
Prodded at it, yes.
You grabbed it with both hands here.
Yes.
And then the barrel of the bat, the big part of the bat is here.
Correct.
And you thrusted it into the different areas of the suitcase?
I started with his hand, and his hand, he was still trying to get out. He was still trying to do that. So I started to push on the suitcase around it, hoping to have his hand retract and go back inside.
The silence in that room was so loud. Sarah's testimony is so eerie to me. The way she sat there just so casually and actually felt justified, vindicated even, like she stopped a bad thing from happening, which was a man trying to save his own life. Before the trial, like most of you, I had no ideas about George's injuries, but to see Sarah just explain them away like nothing, it reminds me of Luis Rivera when he was on the stand and Georgia Cappleman said, "Who shot Dan Markel?" And he said, "Oh, Sigfredo did because I was busy driving. He had the gun, so he got out and he shot him." And she's asking him like, "Well, what did the victim do?" And he just casually said, "Oh, he held his hands up." And Sigfredo got back in the car and we drove off. Like, it was just nothing. That's the same way Sarah sounded. Like, he kept trying to poke his fingers out and kept trying to do that to me, and I was afraid. And it's just horrible, gut-wrenching even. Nonetheless, it gives us a deep dive into the mind of inmate Boone as she approaches her family law case with the same indignant behavior. After taking away her son's only playmate, who stood outside for hours and watched him ride a bike or swung the very bat that she took his life with and played with him outside for hours, now she's trying to financially possibly bankrupt his father and rob him of providing for him. And she's doing it under the guise of love and care. It's really similar to the way that she did George while claiming that she loved him and cared for him and she did everything for him while ultimately taking his life. I believe Sarah's parental rights should have been amended long ago. After the body cam videos that we viewed together, and some included Brian, her rights should have been amended immediately. Maybe monitored visits or alcohol, the bracelet. I think they have like a bracelet that they put on people to stop them from drinking, or like a device in the vehicle. Well, some type of contraption to stop her from drinking around the minor child. She totally pretends as if she was this great mother. And who are we to determine how much a mother loves a child? But we saw that Sarah's terrifying love could lead to death. As we keep our eyes on the family law case slated for August 25th, 2025, hopefully Brian and his attorneys are well prepared to defend and protect the minor child from Sarah Boone and her circus. If you made it this far, you know I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
2.5 years in the Department of Corrections. Do you understand that? Ma'am, understanding the state's offer, do you wish to accept or reject the state's offer to resolve this case?
Reject.